to just mention it.
Good evening. It's time to call this regularly scheduled board meeting of the trustees of San Felipe Del Rio CISD to order. This meeting has been duly posted and called in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Chapter 551. This time, Board Secretary, if you would call roll.
Yes, sir. Mrs. Luna Chavez.
Present.
Mr. Almaraz.
Here.
Mr. Overfelt.
Present.
Mr. Mesa. Mrs. Webb.
Present.
Mrs. Haynes.
Here.
Sir, you have a quorum.
Let the record show that a quorum of the members is present. At this time, if you will stand for opening ceremonies. First, Pledge of Allegiance. First, a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. And now the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, we move to item number 4, recognitions. A, recognition of local law enforcement officers serving our campus. Dr. Rios presenting. And I know Dr. Rios wanted the board to, okay, just a second, and then we'll do it. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Board Assistant Vice President Overfelt, Board of Trustees. National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day was founded in 2015 as a tribute to the men and women across America who have made the sworn commitment to protect and serve our communities, sometimes at all costs. It's normally celebrated on January 9th of each year. Under HB 297, Texas joined the growing list of entities who observe national event by designating National Night as Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Obviously, today's not January 9th, but this is the earliest board meeting we could have. We wanted to take a moment to thank everybody who wears a uniform. I was sharing with them a little while ago that for all school personnel, the number one thing, before we can even touch on teaching and learning, is safety. And because we have an officer at every campus, our parents know that safety is a priority. Our teachers can feel rest assured that they can continue with the jobs of teaching and learning. As I go to meetings and conferences, everybody is asking for waivers from the state requirement because they can't have a complete presence of law enforcement everywhere. Here in Del Rio, we do not have that issue from day one, and we primarily don't have it because our partners, the City of Del Rio Police Department and Val Verde County Sheriff's Department, have committed to providing assistance wherever needed. So whenever there is an officer that is absent due to illness or any other circumstance, we're able to fill those positions with off-duty officers. And for that, we are eternally grateful. So we're just taking a moment today to tell all of our partners in law enforcement, thank you for what they do, thank you for the calmness that they provide to each campus, and thank you for their commitment. So thank you, gentlemen. Y'all look great in your uniforms. I'm sorry that when we built the SPC, we built it for kids' seats, but you look great. We're gonna call your names up to the front so that you can be recognized, but please stay on stage. We're gonna take a group picture with everyone, okay? Thank you so much.
And if the board members will come around.
Armando Alarcón. Ana Barrera. Eric Castillo. José Castorena. Ivan Chavez. Alejandra Dávila. Rolando Fernández. Chuck Galván. Juan Garza. Gerandi González. Rick González. Frank Hernández. Javier Hernández. Pilo Hernández. Alex Hidalgo. Amber Ibarra. Randall Keldy. Brian Maldonado. Robert Maldonado. Cortland Martinez. Abraham Olvera. Silverio Rizo. Luisa Rodríguez. Leo Sadler. Yaira Spellman. Yahaira Spellman. Sorry about that. Armando Trevino. Eduardo Verastiki. Jeremías Villa. Sergeant Lupe Costilla. Sergeant Jaime Martinez. Valverde County Lieutenant Gina Garcia. Lieutenant Sergio Mendoza. Del Rio Police Department Captain Robert Guzman. Valverde County Chief Deputy Joe Ortiz. Valverde County Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez. And Chief Jose Paz.
ask any board members. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't think you want a side post. No, not the side post.
Hey, you guys.
Take care. Cake? You mentioned cake? You mentioned cake?
Thank you. As they are coming off stage, I know that personally I want to say thank you to our school district, law enforcement department, and our partners with the city and county. For those of you with the SFDR Police Department, it helps make our children safer and our staff safer going in and having y'all there, so we greatly appreciate that. We know it means putting on the badge and the uniform and being ready for the worst, but hoping never to have to do that, so we're eternally grateful for that. Are there any other board members that wish to comment, starting on this side? Ms. Webb?
I just want to thank Joe Frank Martinez, Captain Guzman, and Chief Ramirez for working so closely with the district and all of our officers. You're the ones that are the first in line. You're the ones that are there in case anything happens. And we truly appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you so much for your dedication to our district and for the outside entities, the sheriff's departments, the city of Del Rio. Thank you so much for being our partners, because without you, we can't do this. So thank you. We applaud you.
Mr. Galindo?
Just a sincere appreciation for the work you do day in and day out, taking care of all of our students, all of our staff, and our community. And you know, this is exactly what it means. Number one priority here, aside from learning, is the safety, and you guys provide that each and every day. And from the bottom of our hearts, we sincerely appreciate y'all and thank you all for the work that you all do. And you know, to our entities, Valverde Sheriff's Office and the City of Del Rio Police Department, thank you for your partnership. And again, San Felipe Del Rio School Police Department, thank y'all, much appreciated.
Mr. Almaraz?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to thank our partners, Valverde County Sheriff's Office. Obviously, they come and they help us out when we're short-staffed. Del Rio Police Department as well. Thank you guys. Gene, I still see you here. Thank you for your support. To our men and women in the uniform over there in blue, our district police, thank you guys and girls for what you do every single day, putting on that uniform, putting on that gun, making sure our staff, our students, our entire community is safe. You know, because you guys, yeah, you're district police, but at the end of the day, I'm sure if the need for service, you know, happened anywhere around, I'm sure you guys would be doing the same thing and serving our community. So thank you guys for putting on that badge. It means a lot. Thank you.
Ms. Becky, anything?
I just want to say that you just don't realize what a blessing you are to our district, to our students. The fact that you are visible, or the fact that you are just supporting the school district deserves a big thank you. So thank you very much for all that you do for the students, for the school district, and for the community. God bless you.
Again, thank you all for being here this evening. You'll have a great rest of the evening. Stay warm. We'll see you back tomorrow. We will be tabling item B, recognition of the Board of Trustees in honor of School Board Recognition Month. We'll do that in February. 5, citizens to be heard. We did not have anyone for citizens to be heard. That takes us to item 8A, reports. A, middle school redesign update. Dr. Rios presenting.
Just give them a minute to exit, sir. That's okay.
Sure thing.
Vice President Overfeld, members of the board, this presentation will provide a brief middle school redesign project update. Since the beginning of this project, we focused our efforts on ensuring that we could get this off the ground. Our priorities were understanding the leadership of the campus, rezoning and facilities needs. To date, we have the third middle school principal identified and hired. We've worked with the principals to develop the structure to include the personnel, both in teaching staff and front office, and we are ready to begin to make those assignments and reassignments. We have worked a whole lot with our demographer. We have established the rezoning needs. We have informed Garfield Elementary that Garfield will be rezoned to the other campuses. And we have a communication plan for the parents. We haven't sent out the individuals' letters yet, but that is in the next steps. We came up with facilities needs, and you'll see those in our presentation later today in the board meeting. We've done site visits, and we've come up with some costs. After extensive studying, we feel that we can continue with this improvement successfully. There are other things that are going on. For example, Cody Warlock Gym is under construction as a second gym for Garfield. There's the fencing around San Felipe and the property that we have to purchase there, and that's moving along nicely. We even had an update today from the realtors working on that. All that is progressing, but the difficult part was, could we restructure it? And I think that at this point, we've done that. Moving forward, we will provide the updates as to what has been accomplished to date. For example, rezoning, notifying the individual parents at Garfield as to where they will attend, and notifying the 5th, 6th, and 7th graders as to what middle school they're being zoned for. All of that will happen in the month of February. Tech Academy, we started the recruitment efforts. I don't know if Ms. Salas and Ms. Pond are back, but they had a meeting there at Calderon, and they'll have one at every campus moving forward. They had a district meeting. It was very well attended on January 15th. And again, the rezoning, notifying the parents and all that should happen February 25. Are there any questions regarding middle school redesign? Vice President Overfeld?
Any questions at this point, Mr. Galindo?
When we're looking at item 1, Dr. Reels, under the leadership and staffing proposals, how's that going to work for staffing as far as choosing who's going to go where, or based off what's going to be the criteria to determine who's going to be moved from like Del Rio Middle School to the other schools and so forth like that?
Yes, sir. The principals already got together and came up with the list. We know who our more experienced teachers are and our less experienced teachers. They made sure that the experience was equally distributed amongst all three campuses. So they all sat together and made those decisions. Probably in another 2 weeks, we'll be able to finalize that and make it public. We obviously want to make sure that we get the numbers of students at each middle school to make sure that we didn't give one teacher more to one campus than the other, and then have to go back and say, hey, by the way, our mistake, we're going to make some changes. But they based it on experience and certification, sir, so that it would be balanced between all three campuses.
Anyone else? Thank you, sir. That takes us to item 8B, SFDR CISD Strategic Plan Report. Dr. Rios?
Vice President Mesa, members of Vice President Overfeld, sorry, members of the board, there is a folder in front of you that looks like the one I'm holding up. If you can look at that folder, it'll make the presentation more understandable. Yeah, but before I do that, I'm looking at the picture on the first slide, and it just kind of became real all of a sudden that today was going to be board recognition, and we'd have a lot of students come forward, and because of the weather, that wasn't able to happen. But still board recognition day, so thank you very much for all that you do. And, we hope to continue with that celebration in February. So anyway, moving on. This year, because of budget constraints, we reduced the personnel significantly. This forced us to look at what we're doing as a district and what's important and what we need to make sure that we continue to do and do it even better so that we can make up for some of the cuts. So what we did is we got together, we reviewed our vision, which that didn't change our district's vision, and in our mission. And we asked ourselves, what is it that we needed to do as a district leadership team to ensure that we met the vision and the mission of the district? And what we did is that we didn't completely do away with our strategic development plan, but we did want to bring a whole lot of focus to it so that we can make sure that we employed our resources. And we came up with 5 levers: finance and operations, focused leadership, highly effective instruction, innovation, and integrated support. And under each one of the levers, we came up with goals. And then with the goals, obviously the strategies. And I'm just going to review the goals very quickly. And the purpose for reviewing the goals is because on February 3rd, the board is going to have the Team of 8 training. And we wanted to make sure that we introduced you to the new goals formally. So then at the Team of 8 training, you could give us more feedback if you wanted more clarity on these goals, if you wanted them changed. So today's presentation is only meant to be an introduction. Goal 1, finance and operations. By May 2025, the district will provide a strong plan for effective use of staff and district resources to produce a balanced budget while continuing district improvements and/or construction projects. And again, there's strategies that we won't go over, but they're in your packet. Focused leadership. By 2027, 100% of campus and district's leaders will effectively support and communicate high expectations for student learning. Highly effective instruction. Goal number 3, 100% of SFDR CISD students will meet or exceed grade level standards. We know that we're doing a whole lot better on the approaches area, but our goal is to get every student to the meets level. Innovation. SFDR CISD will offer well-established innovative programs to 100% of the students. integrated student support. 100% of SFDR CISD students will receive services to meet their social, emotional, and academic needs. The next steps is to have the team of 8 training, decide if the goals are appropriate. Obviously, what makes a goal appropriate is not necessarily the wording on the goal, but the strategies that support each goal. Because in the strategies, we began to talk about what is being measured. The plan would be to align these goals to the superintendent goals so that both documents would be interchangeable, and then continue to move forward with the implementation of our strategic plan. Are there any questions?
Any questions from the board?
Thank you.
No questions, sir. Takes us to item 8C, Term 3 Attendance and Discipline Report. As is every month, this is sent to us electronically and in the packet. Does any member have a specific question about anything in attendance or discipline for the third 6 weeks? Awesome, moving on.
Mr. Renfro,
Yes, sorry,
could I just take a moment?
absolutely.
Last term, we showed a slight improvement in the attendance as compared to the previous years. This year again, or this term, we did the same. I want to encourage our campus leadership staff to continue to monitor attendance, to use the resources available. Today was a bad weather day. We had a late start, and we knew that we were going to have low attendance for different reasons. We'll have another late weather start tomorrow. I believe the attendance will improve a little bit from today, but today was a little bit better than expected. We just ask that you continue to use your resources at the campus to continue to encourage attendance. And for the parents listening at home, I wanted to just share with everybody that deciding to close schools or do a late start is a very difficult decision because so many people want to do different things. But the state of Texas requires us to be in attendance X amount of minutes a year, which really translates to us having one day when we cannot have school and have it waived by the day. And given the forecast for today and tomorrow, it just made a whole lot of sense to save that day for when our roads would be iced over and we really couldn't travel. That's why we can't just cancel when school is out. Otherwise, the state will make us make up that day. And for the schools making up that day, it would mean giving up one of the already indicated holidays. For example, the Monday after Easter, we would have to give up that day if we came to a point where we had to make up more than one day. So I apologize for anybody's inconvenience, but it is a difficult decision because some want a late start because of early transportation, some want to just not have school. And it's difficult to make a decision that is going to meet everybody's needs. So we make the decision that meets most people's needs. So we ask that we try to be understanding of the legal requirements, the accountability, and we hope that you will send your students tomorrow. It will be a late start. Hopefully tomorrow will be the last late start. Transportation will run 2 hours later than it normally does. So thank you for your collaboration during these days.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, as was mentioned, to those students that showed up and those who sent their kiddos in today, we appreciate them coming in and being able to be in the schools. Item 8D, Intruder Detection Audit Report. Chief Foss.
Roger, he's outside. Can you make sure to tell him that he's up?
Good evening, Vice President Overfeld, Dr. Rios, members of the board. Tonight, I'm going to present to you the audit report, the intruder detection audit report for January 21st, 2025. As you can see, as of this report, we're 37% completed, 6 out of 16 campuses visiting. As of this report, we have 1 corrective action that needs to be submitted. On December 19th, 2024, we had an inspector visit Garfield Elementary. And during that visit, there was 1 finding that was noted. Corrective action was identified. And that corrective action is from the intruder being able to get access into the campus. As noted by the intruder's notes, he followed a staff member into one of the doors of the campus, at which point he was stopped by the police officer 22 seconds after he made entry into the building. But because he was able to gain access through the doors following the staff member, it's now corrective action that we need to submit. So the corrective actions that needs to be taken is we need to have a training for Garfield staff, which we already have. That training was done on January 13th. Specifically, the training covered that all the importance of all exterior doors, parking lot gates, pedestrian gates, all interior classroom doors must be properly closed and locked. Staff were taught and reminded that they need to question anyone who doesn't have the approved lanyard for school employees, identifying them with their IDs, and question anyone that they feel that is not an employee. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Dr. Rios?
Yes, Mr. Overfeld, members of the board, we have, it's a requirement that we show anytime the auditor was able to get on campus. And sometimes that sends a message that, something's wrong. And yeah, there is something that our staff needs to do better. In this case, ask for a badge, and if they don't have a badge, then question them. Something that simple. But then, the auditor comes every month, and we're not required to report those. But it's noteworthy that this month there was 2 audits, one at Chavira Elementary and one at Early College High School. And when it was over, the auditor sent Chief and myself a message that he was very pleased with the structure and the leadership and the focus on those 2 campuses, and congratulating us on having a police force and just the attention to it. So, feel bad about the little mistakes that are caught, or big mistakes, but we're also pleased with the majority of the efforts that are done at the campuses. So encourage your staff to keep doing the same thing. Today was a wonderful day. Mr. Overfeld and Mr. Almaraz invited me to visit campuses with them today to make sure that the heaters were working. And when we approached Del Rio Middle School, we tried to gain entry through the top. And I knocked on the window, and we signaled to a student to come open the door. And I wish I would have found the student and asked his name, because the student looked at us through the glass and said, "I'm not allowed to open the door for you." So then, kudos to the student and kudos to the teachers and the leadership that has instructed them. But that's huge. that's what we have to keep promoting to everybody. Today was just a great example of that. Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Item 8E, facilities and construction update. Mr. Chapa?
Good evening, Vice President Overfeld, Dr. Rios, members of the board. Tonight's presentation includes updates on the ongoing Cody Ward Law renovation, as well as the HVAC equipment replacement. So far, the roofing has progressed to a certain point where we're approximately 90% complete. The delays we have encountered is due to the weather. The manufacturer of the TPO recommended not to bond the seams unless the temperature is above 50 degrees, as with what we experienced, that constituted delays. They're anticipating completing the work by the end of the month, if not the first week in February. Plumbing continues to progress. They're expecting to request inspections of the rough-in and top-outs by the end of the month. Earlier this month, Dr. Rios and I met with city officials regarding the sprinkler system requirements, and it was established that the sprinkler system was not required for this type of renovation. The flooring has progressed to a certain point that we call it phase one. They did all the sanding, got it leveled and ready to go, plus the sealer. We asked them to come back at a later date so we can progress in the interior work as far as electrical and HVAC without damaging the floor. The picture shown here is basically the upper level of the roof where the TPO is in place, and this was accomplished prior to this bad weather. They're currently working on the lower level. There's a still shot of the video taken by the plumbers underneath the future bathrooms. All the rough-ins are in place. Of course, a picture of the interior, the flooring that's already been sanded down to its natural wood and with the sealer only. The next phase would be when they come back and do the painting of the stripes, logos, and so forth, and placing the necessary coats of varnish. The future projects that the administration is contemplating is that we continue working on the lights at the Student Guided Learning Center, also an interior refresh at Calderon Elementary, acoustical treatment at the Rio Middle School dining area, perimeter fencing at San Felipe Memorial Middle School, a district-wide immediate HVAC needs, library expansion at Garfield Elementary, as well as San Felipe Memorial Middle School, locker rooms at Garfield, canopy and landscaping at Del Rio Middle School for parent drop-off and pickup area, and Buena Vista Elementary perimeter fencing. Of course, these items are pending Citizens Committee review and recommendations. Going on to the work order tickets. The maintenance department, this past 90 days, 889 were created, 89% complete. At 0 to 15 days, 88% were complete. 16 to 30 days, 87% complete. 31 to 60 days, 86% complete. 61 to 90 days, 91% complete. Technology department, the past 90 days, 1,934 work tickets were created, 95% were completed. 0 to 15 days, 81% completed. 16 to 30 days, 92% completed. 31 to 60 days, 95% completed. 61 to 90 days, 98% completed. And transportation department, within the last 90 days, 161 work tickets were created, 96% were completed. 0 to 15 days, 71% completed. 16 to 30 days, 95% completed, 31 to 60 days, as well as 61 to 90 days, 100% completed. Questions?
Thank you, sir. Just real quickly on the gym floor, those areas that had dry rotted out, that's all been cut out and replaced?
Those were replaced.
Awesome. Good deal. Any other questions? This side? Okay. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
On that picture that you see up there, you see some boards that are lighter than the other ones. Those were the boards that were replaced. So now Mr. Chapa and Coach McCray will work with the designer to make sure that more logos go on those areas, just so that the newer boards don't stick out. But they did a great job. Looking forward to the rest of the project.
Awesome. Thank you. That takes us into item 9, consent agenda. There are a couple things in there. Minutes from the December meeting, a couple RFQs, and a whole bunch of donations. Those have been posted on our social media sites, thanking the community. And again, thank you to the community for your donations to our schools and individuals. There was 109 this go around, so thank y'all. One action will approve consent if there is a particular item that someone would like to question or pull separately for a vote. Now would be the time for that. Hearing none, is there a motion to accept the consent agenda? Mr. Galindo, seconded by Ms. Webb. All in favor? All in favor? Okay, yeah. It's been a while since I've done this, sorry. That takes us to item 10, nothing in administration, nothing in curriculum, technology, operations. Item 13, business and finance. A, consideration to approve the 25-26 budget development calendar. Ms. Childress.
Good evening, Vice President Overfelt, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. The 2025-2026 budget talks are upon us. In front of you should be a kind of a guideline for the 2025-2026 budget schedule. Again, this is a fluid calendar. The dates are able to be changed around as we get closer to, but it just provides you with an outline of what our process is and the timeline that it will occur in.
And so, board members, that was placed at your spot, and there, the single calendar that has everything through August of 2025, and dealing with all the important budget items that'll be coming up. Pray the legislature makes the right decision. Any questions on this? No. Awesome. Recommendation, ma'am?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the budget development calendar to guide the fiscal year 2025-2026 budgeting process.
For the recommendation, is there a motion to accept? Mr. Almaraz, seconded by Ms. Haynes. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
That takes us into item 14, human resources. Flip my page here. A, consideration to approve the submittal of application for impact aid. Ms. Childress?
Yes, good evening once again. This is our annual application for our impact aid. This will be for the 2026 year, and it's due by January 31st. So the application has been completed, and we're just asking for your approval to submit.
Any questions on this annual event? Recommendation?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the submission of the grant application under the Impact Aid Section 7003, and for the superintendent to sign.
Heard the recommendation. I so move. Is there a second? Ms. Chavez, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. 14B, discussion and possible action to approve employee job descriptions and evaluation forms. Ms. Childress.
Good evening once again. This evening, I bring you some job descriptions and evaluations. The critical needs assistant, licensed physical therapist assistant, the management assistant to campus principal, and the lead general maintenance worker for carpentry. Those are just updates. And then we do have a new one, the senior human resources coordinator. And those were all provided to you, both the job descriptions and evaluations as needed.
Thank you. As mentioned, the job descriptions were left at your place settings, or at least the,
All of
There-
them were in your packet, except I believe for the lead general maintenance worker on the carpentry, so that was provided at your credenza. All the others were in your board packet.
okay. The one that was left up here that I have is the physical therapist. Y'all have that one also, or you'll have the carpenter one?
I'm sorry, I apologize, it is the physical
Okay.
therapist, that's my mistake, sorry.
Okay, perfect.
There's a lot of them.
So those are the proposed changes. Any questions? Recommendation?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the employee job descriptions and evaluation forms as discussed.
Thank you for the recommendation. Is there a motion to accept? Ms. Haynes, followed by Ms. Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, Ms. Amy. We got you for the next 5 items. Item C, consideration to approve the updated 24-25 district compensation plans.
Good evening once again. This evening, you do have an update, and it should be on your credenza on the compensation plan. And the items that we are updating are on the administrative professional pay plan. The first one is on the pay grade 1. It's the addition of the management assistant to campus principal. The second item is on the pay grade 4, the addition of the coordinator, senior human resources. And then on the second page, under pay grade 5, it is the removal of the director of human resources.
Any questions from the board? Just 2 quick ones. So we're gonna, and I know we've already done the job description, but, so coordinator for resources moves from a 5 to a 4, right? That's what's
Yes,
happening on that one,
Yes, we're converting that. Yes, sir.
from director to coordinator?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
And then just for transparency, Dr. Rios, could you tell us what a management assistant to a campus principal is?
Yes, sir. The best way to summarize it is having a operations coordinator at the campus level, the high school being the largest campus. Someone to assist the principal with a whole lot of duties, all the way from supervising custodians to reviewing duty schedules. Everything that is not instructional is the best way to summarize it. It is a pay grade 1.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Being no further questions, recommendation?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the updated 2024-2025 district compensation plan as presented.
Thank you for the recommendation. Is there a motion to accept? Ms. Chavez, second by Mr. Almaraz. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item D, consideration to approve the addition of 5 peace officer positions for the district police department.
Good evening once again, Vice President Oberfelt, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. At this time, administration is asking that we add 5 additional police officer positions to our positions.
Okay, Dr. Rios?
The purpose of these positions are not to make security officers permanent positions. We've recruited individuals who are willing to go to the police academy. So for example, we have 3 vacancies right now, and the city police and the sheriff's office is filling them for them. By allowing us to hire 5 officers, we will be able to send them to the police academy, and we need 3 of them to fill the vacancies, and then the other 2 will be for future vacancies. So we hope to be able to stay ahead of the needs of campuses by having 1 or 2 excess officers and never have to worry about unfilled vacancies.
And to that, talking about sending them to the academy, once we've sent them to the academy and they come on with us, do we have anything in a right or anything that says we paid for your academy, you owe us 2 years or whatnot within the district before jumping to DPS or wherever?
Yes, sir, absolutely. That's part of the employee agreement that we have with them. And I mean, I hate to put you on the spot, but it's 2 years.
I believe it's 2 years, I believe so.
Yes.
All right, I guessed right. All right, cool.
Excuse me,
Yes, sir, ma'am.
not less than 2 years, you said, or less than 2
No,
years?
not less than 2 years.
Not less than 2 years. Okay.
Any other questions? Awesome.
I got a
Recommendation?
quick comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Almanis?
For these, and I know a lot of our officers are, I'd like to see, on top of this, I mean, I would really like to see, and I guess that's something we can speak about here at future meetings, is their body armor, right? So these men and women, I mean, they strap on that gun every day to go and protect our kids, and I think we owe it to them to have, body armor that's not expired, something that they can use, and I think that's something we need to look at, because a lot of the body armor is expired. I mean, it's been outdated for quite some time, and I think we owe it to them to give them the right tools for the job. I mean, they're going to be the ones running down the hallways. God forbid something happen, but they're going to be the ones responding. They definitely deserve better. So that's one thing that I've seen is the body armor is a need. It's definitely a priority for these men and women.
Yes, sir. The discussion we had last week was on the availability of some grants from the state, and body armor was one of them. So whether we're able to purchase it through local funds or earning that state grant, we'll get it done, sir.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Recommendation?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve 5 peace officer positions for the district police department.
Thank you for the recommendation. Is there a motion to accept? So I'm gonna seconded by Mr. Galindo. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. E, consideration to approve the addition of a management assistant to the campus principal position for Del Rio High School. I jumped ahead on that one and asked already, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening once again. So from prior items, we have added it, given you the job description, we have added it to the compensation plan. Now we just are asking to add the actual position to our salary scenarios.
Any questions on this item? Recommendation?
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve 1 management assistant to campus principal position for Del Rio High School.
Awesome, we've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to accept? Ms. Haynes, followed by Mr. Galindo. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item F, 14F, consideration to approve the addition of lead general maintenance worker for carpentry for Austin Building. Childers?
Yes, sir. Once again, follows the same items. We added it to the compensation plan, the job description. At this time, we're asking to add the position and post a vacancy.
Any questions? Recommendation?
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve one general maintenance worker leader position at the Austin Building.
For the recommendation, is there a motion to accept? Ms. Chavez, seconded by Mr. Alvarez. Any other questions? All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lastly, item 14G, consideration to approve the conversion of Human Resource Director position to Senior Human Resource Coordinator. Ms. Childress.
Yes, sir. Good evening, and yes, as discussed previously, we are asking to remove the Director of HR position from a pay grade 5 and convert it to a Senior Human Resources Coordinator, pay grade 4 position, and post the vacancy.
Any questions? Recommendation?
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the conversion of Human Resources Director position to Senior Human Resources Coordinator position.
For the recommendation, the motion to accept. Mr. Alvarez, seconded by Ms. Chavez. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item 15, Student Services. Oh, so you're here one more, sorry.
We're going to have Ms. Sundate.
Oh, okay. 15, Student Services. Item A, consideration to approve and submit corrective action plan regarding student discipline data to Texas Education Agency. Ms. Sundate?
Good evening, Dr. Rios, Vice President Overfelt, and members of the board. On July 31st, 2024, the district received notification from the TEA Division of Compliance and Inquiries that the district submitted student discipline data that fell outside of the expected range for reporting out-of-school suspensions for McKinney-Vento students during the 22-23 school year. The district was asked to provide written responses, policies, procedures, and discipline documentation in order to address the concerns. All requested documentation was submitted to TEA on August 31st, 2024. In response to the initial inquiry, TEA sent the district a notice of corrective action plan dated December 3rd, 2024. The corrective action plan is being brought to you tonight for approval at the January 21st, 2025 regular board meeting. In addition to the plan being approved, TEA is requiring all relevant campus and LEA staff be provided training on current laws and regulations relating to student discipline and to students experiencing homelessness.
Thank you. Any questions from the board on this item? Hearing none, the recommendation?
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the submission of the corrective action plan to the Texas Education Agency.
For the recommendation, is there a motion to approve? Mr. Galindo. Mr. Alvarez, second. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. I know, we are on fire. Item 17, closed session pursuant to 551074 and 551071, consultations with attorney regarding the personnel report, new hires, and district vacancies. This board will now adjourn into closed session. All action and votes will be taken in open session. We are now in closed session at 6:59 p.m. Good evening, it's 7:49 p.m. We are reconvening into open session. No action was taken in closed. Takes us to item 18, consideration to approve the personnel report to include the following: new hires and district vacancies, retirements, and resignations. Ms. Childress.
Good evening, Vice President Overfelt, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the retirements, resignations, and vacancies as discussed in closed session, as well as the following new personnel: Lily Demas, mathematics teacher at San Felipe Memorial Middle School. William Green, mathematics teacher at Del Rio Middle School. And Chantal De La Cerda, kindergarten teacher at Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary.
Further recommendations, is there a motion to accept? Ms. Haynes, followed by Ms. Webb. All in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nothing under superintendent's report, and therefore being no more business before this board, is there a motion to adjourn? Mr. Almaraz, seconded by Ms. Haynes. All in favor? We are adjourned, 7:51. Thank you.